Carolina started to get a lot more pressure in the second half.
I don't know if that's true or not, to be honest with you, but I mean, we got into a situation where we were throwing it a good bit, but I mean, I thought the pressure was about what they bring. You know, they have a tendency to bring some pressure, and so I don't know if that's true or not.
Shannon, running game had probably its worst game so far this year on Saturday, and things don't get any easier with Clemson. I looked it up, they have top 10 running defense. So what are some of the things you want to not change and at least improve on during this week in the running game?
I mean, I'm not changing anything in the run game, and part of the reason why statistically we were what we were is because we were trying to get back in the game. You know, we did some things that got us out of, a couple touchdowns out, and when that happens, you gotta try to aerate it and get back in, which we did. The bigger deal is we just got to quit turning the ball over in bad times. We were at halftime. You sit there, and I think we had 300 yards, and we had almost 100 yards rushing. Very pleased. Then we go out and we turn the ball over quickly twice. Well, now we're down 20, and so you want me to keep running it? Is that what you want me to do? Yeah, well, I went the other way with it. Might have been a mistake, but we'll see.
In Temple, Texas A&M, Georgia Tech, and North Carolina, Restrepo has 47 targets, Kobe Young 22, and George 27. Is that by design?
I think the ball finds you when you're open, and the ball finds you when you're making plays, and the ball finds you when the quarterback's comfortable with you. I think that if you look through the course of offensive football, specifically our offense, different receivers have led the team yearly. Sometimes it's been X. Not Xavier, but the position X. Sometimes it's been H, sometimes it's been Y, sometimes it's been Z. The plays don't change. Really, the balls just go to people that are open. Like, I'm not sitting here calling a play thinking, okay, I'm calling this play because I want Tyler Van Dyke to throw it to Xavier Restrepo. That never happens. Now, is he the first read on some plays? Yes. Now, it has a lot to do with what the defense does. So if I have a play called and he's the first read and he's open, he gets it. If he's not open, then number 2 gets it, right? And then number 3 and so forth. But, there are people that we want to put in position to get balls, obviously. But ultimately, the ball finds you when you're doing stuff right. And that's really true.
So you set the play and Tyler makes the decision off of what he sees on it.
Well, our plays have a progression. Like, I don't have plays where I call a play and I know what receiver's getting the ball unless it's a screen, In past concepts, we're a progression past offense. So if it's 1, 2, 3, then the quarterback goes through the reads based on how the defense plays, and the open guy gets it.
Is Tyler doing a good enough job to checking the ball down when he needs to?
For the most part, yeah. And there's times where he hasn't. That's got us in trouble. 2 specifically. The interception in the end zone, the Georgia Tech one, he should have went down, and then the pick backed up. The running back should have got it. That's 2 examples of times he didn't do it, but there's been a lot of times where he has, and so it's hard to be very critical of those things because that's always going to be true. You're not. A quarterback's never going to play 80 snaps, and 80 snaps you look at and you're like, daggum, the ball, he did the exact right thing on every play. That's just not the case. And so you look at this game and it's no different. I thought Tyler played a great game, like probably the best game of the year, from my perspective, other than A&M. And he had about 3 bad plays, and then those 3 bad plays were costly plays. But other than that, man, he played really hard. And it was a physical game, and he hung in there. And the touchdown throw he threw to George on the wheel route, getting smacked, I mean, that's as elite as I've seen.
Coach, you mentioned how well Tyler played at North Carolina, one of his better performances of the year. What does it take to replicate that against Clemson, which kind of likes to pack the box, but can also be speedy on the outside?
I don't know about replicating it. I think there's a process of getting comfortable where those games happen. I don't view it as, we're playing so-and-so, we got to look, it's the next game is the next game, and hopefully we just keep improving to the point to where there's a good product out there when we play. My focus is more on eliminating the big miss, to be quite honest with you. If you like golf, you a golfer?
I golf a little bit.
All right. When you miss a drive, is it in the woods or is it in the fringe of the fairway?
Fortunately enough, it's just on the road for me.
Well, then you're probably a pretty good golfer, right? And you can score a decent score if your miss is right off the edge. Well, my miss is in the woods to the right, which is where our offense right now's miss is. When we're playing good football, we're averaging 500 yards a game. We're doing things that are really, really good most of the time. But when we don't hit it on the sweep spot, we're in the woods or in the water. And it's getting us beat. So we got to eliminate the big miss.
Matt Lee is, I think, right now he's currently graded the top center, I think in the country, if I remember right. Just what does he do that makes him just so effective in that spot on the line?
He's just, look, that's almost like asking how is somebody good at something. He's just really good at his job. In the run game, he's extremely physical. He's very, his, I guess, body control of adjusting to like blitzers and things that change quickly is elite. His lateral mobility in those small spaces are unbelievable, but he also has the ability to generate a lot of power in a very small area. And you couple that with his ability to make calls and to see things and, anticipate what defenses are doing blitz-wise based on front and based on safety rotation. It's just a unique blend of ability and football IQ, His body's just made in a way where he plays that position really well. My hunch is if I put him at inside receiver, he wouldn't be great, but he's kind of, built for that position. And so, he's got a unique set of qualities to be really good at that position.
Is that something you have in your bag with Matt Lee lining up inside receiver?
No, I hope not. Trying to be more efficient on offense.
This week, Clemson top 10 overall, top 5 overall defense, top 10 rushing defense.
Yeah.
What stands out most about that group?
I think they're the best. They're the best defense we've played all year from top to bottom. Very, very aggressive up front in the run game. They do not mind getting dirty and doing what it takes to stop the run. They're also very athletic in the back end. Their linebacking core, Trotter Jr. is as good as we've seen this year. I thought 33 for North Carolina was going to be him, and now I watch this kid and I'm like, well, heck, he's probably the best. His dad was a pretty good player too, right? But yeah, top to bottom, and they're very, they've played a lot of football in the back end. Everything's pretty much contested with them. Passes down the field, or you got to make contested plays.
Coach, Tyler, I know he was hit hard the other day and might be physically hurting now. Coach Cristobal said he's ready to go.
Yeah.
Is he the type of kid who wants to play no matter what? And, also I want to know how Emery is, just in case.
No, he's fine. Yeah. Both of them are fine. Both of them are ready to go. This game's a physical game. Everybody's sore after games. He's fine. He's good to go. He's ready to practice today, which I'm fired up about.
Say that again?
I said he's ready to practice today, which I'm fired up about.
How has Emery progressed? He got some reps at the beginning of the year. Have you seen him take a step forward since he's gotten that?
He's progressed, in my opinion, in a way that a true freshman progresses. You won't know about a kid until he plays significant snaps, right? And so the key with him and JB is just keep coming along, right? Ultimately, there's going to be a competition here for quarterback. At some point, we're not going to play the rest of our history with Tyler Van Dyke at quarterback. At some point, he's got to move on. And when he does that, then we're going to have a competition with the other guys that are here.
A.J. Allen need to do to earn more carries?
Yeah, I thought when he got in there Saturday, he did some good things. There was a couple plays that stood out that probably why he didn't play a lot moving forward, which is, the case with a lot of positions. But consistency is the key. Consistency is the key with every position. Kids ask me, about playing time, and playing time's everybody wants to know, if they're not playing. 11 guys walk out on the field. not everybody in the room is going to be one of those 11, right? And so what do you have to do to get into that 11 or 16 or so people that are playing? Your position coach and the coordinator has to feel pretty good about you, and that's feel good about every aspect, pass protection, everything, and so, and I'm not down on AJ at all, I'm not down on him at all, and I want him to play more because his ability to make big plays is there, but he's got to do everything, he's got to do everything.
I remember if it was in the spring or in fall camp. I remember you saying, the plan for the season was kind of spread the ball out a lot among different receivers, get a lot of guys reps. But while Jacoby and Colby and X were playing so well, they were getting a lot of reps at receiver until Saturday. I think Horton got the most reps that he's ever gotten. Had a Harold down the field, Ray. Just how much did you? Rashard got a bunch of reps. Like, he got a touchdown. Like, how much do you want to try to integrate those guys more and more into the game plan?
A lot. I mean, that was a planned effort. I thought that, this is a long season, and we're getting into some games where at the beginning of the year we were playing, 60 to 70 snaps, which I'm not like, and I said it before, I'm not mad about that. I mean, I'd rather play 65 snaps and win the game and be efficient, because snaps over time is what wears bodies down, right? So, but we're getting into games where we're playing 85 or so snaps, right? And I felt last week that if we stayed the course with that, then guys like Strep and guys like Kobe, guys like George, at some point in the year, they're going to hit a wall, So we got to share those reps, and we have capable bodies. Like, don't. As a coach, it's a fine line between wanting your top guys out there and wanting to put guys in and give them experience. And a lot of times, you just got to let them go, and they'll make plays, and they're not going to be perfect either, They're going to mess up. But, I mean, if we want to be good at the end of the year and we want guys to develop, we got to put them out there and just let them roll.
What did you like about Jacoby's performance? Jacoby. What did you like about his performance in that game?
In this past game? Kobe Young?
Jacoby.
Jacoby. What was his, he had 6 or 7 for 126 or something. He had some explosive plays, but I will say this, some of those plays should have been more explosive, and that's who he needs to be. He's got to take a couple of them to the house, and he had that opportunity too. And so he's going to continue getting those opportunities, and part of playing more people has something to do with that, because we're getting situations where we're getting people in front of people that can outrun people that aren't outrunning people. And so to me, that equates to, let's take some reps off of them, so when they get those, they can go score. You can't expect somebody to play 90% of the plays out there and be at his top tier level or even close to it the whole game. And so I'd rather those guys share the reps. But I was very pleased with him, made some dynamic plays and can continue doing that. We just got to, take some of them to the house,
Anything else for Coach Dawson? Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate it, guys.